Chip Kelly is the new offensive coordinator at Ohio State, but is he going to mesh with Ryan Day? We'll talk about it after the stinger. It's Felix Sharpe, Nicholas Ian Allen, and Chris Moxley for CampusToCanton.com. I hope you like the content. We're sitting here putting out college football content every single day. So do me a favor. Drop a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 4,000 before the NFL draft. We got to 3,000 really quickly. So I think that we can get to our 4,000 goal here just as quickly. This is an important question, guys. Chip Kelly leaves as head coach of UCLA. Maybe he didn't want to recruit. Maybe Dante Moore leaving was a problem, but he's now the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Now, Ohio State, I don't know if this is just serendipity, but they actually have an offense that seems to suit what Chip Kelly does. You got two great running backs in Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, and you have a quarterback in Will Howard who's probably a dual threat and definitely not the passer that Justin Fields was, that CJ Stroud was, that Dwayne Haskins was. So it already seemed like before we got Chip Kelly that Ohio State's offense was going to look a little bit different in 2024. Chris Moxley, do you think that those personalities, that's some big personalities, Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, do you think that they will mesh well?
I don't think Ryan Day brings Chip Kelly in unless he was confident that it would work, actually. These are two people who have known each other for their entirety of their professional careers. Goes back to New Hampshire. Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator. Ryan Day was the quarterback. Ryan Day was then hired onto staff as the tight ends coach. Ryan Day was the quarterback coach for the Eagles with Chip Kelly and with the 49ers for his single season there, right? These are people who know each other very well, and I think that they have the working relationship, professional relationship, and personal relationship to make this work. Ryan Day ceding play calling duties, which I think is smart. I think he's embracing more of the CEO type, bringing in, maintaining relationships with kids that you kind of have to do in this day and age in the NIL world. The personnel shifts that you just talked about, Felix, are what I think is selling this more so for me. You pay Quinshon in the portal because Quinshon Judkins wanted at least $1 million from Ole Miss. He wasn't getting it there. Whether the Ohio State gave him that or close, probably influenced his decision. They keep Travion Henderson. They add Will Howard. The offensive line returns 4 or 5 starters and adds Seth McLaughlin, who you can make fun of him for his performance as a center in the Alabama game. But at the end of the day, I think he'll pop out to right guard. It'll be a really successful offense, and I love this relationship, to be totally honest.
Shout out to my good friend John McLaughlin, the pilot there. Nicholas Ian Allen, your thoughts. Chip Kelly, Ryan Day, can they mesh in 2024?
Yeah, I think so. I am fully on board with this move. When it all unfolded, it sounded really strange. That Chip Kelly was actively searching out offensive coordinator jobs, and he swung and missed on a few NFL play caller jobs, and then for a power conference head coach at UCLA, which is arguably a top 25 head coaching job. You've got access to talent, you've got history, you've got tradition. He's won a little bit, built that program from where he started over the last 5 or 6 seasons. But it became clear that for whatever reason, and there's been tons of speculation as to why, Chip Kelly did not want to be the head coach at UCLA anymore. And it seems to me, maybe just didn't want to be a head coach anymore. This opportunity where he's going to work with somebody he's very familiar with, Chris mentioned the history that he and Ryan Day had at New Hampshire as coach and quarterback, the history they had working together in the NFL. And this is going to allow Chip Kelly to coach football. And I think that's what he wants to do. He's going to have more time. He doesn't have to deal with boosters. He doesn't have to deal with transfer portal stuff, doesn't have to deal with NIL, doesn't have to really, is he going to have to recruit? I'm not sure. He's probably just going to sit in his office, watch film, game plan, draw things up, innovate, get creative, and have the time and the flexibility to just concentrate on making this Ohio State offense as good as it can possibly be. and spend time working on specific matchups. That's something he's done really, really well for a long time. There's a recent piece by Bruce Feldman in The Athletic where he was talking to a lot of the coaches that Chip Kelly has faced recently in the Pac-12. And multiple coaches, at a variety of different stops brought up the fact that Chip Kelly can diagnose an opponent. He will find something new, add new wrinkles every week that just make it really, really tough. And that's when his attention has been, fractured in so many different ways as a head coach. Now he's just going to be working on the Ohio State offense, the X's and O's, getting his playmakers the ball and finding ways to gash opposing defenses. And I think quite possibly this is going to be the best Chip Kelly that we have seen since Oregon. I think this is an absolute home run. I don't think, honestly, the personalities have anything to do with it. But even if they did, there seems to be a pretty solid relationship there, so that Chip Kelly's not necessarily going to piss Ryan Day off. He knows what he's getting into by making this hire. If he were moving to a coach that he didn't have a working relationship prior or didn't have a personal relationship prior, yeah, Chip Kelly can rub people the wrong way and wear out his welcome fairly quickly. This, to me, seems like a perfect situation for Chip Kelly just to go in a dark room somewhere, turn on the projector, and just find ways to beat Michigan, 364 days a year.
You heard our opinions. Let us know what you think in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.